Hey, what's up? Welcome. Guys, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from and where you're located and your age and your name. Just type it in here. Nader says, California. What's up? How's it going? Yeah. I'm waiting for more people to join. I'm here to answer questions. It's a Q&A about witchcraft, about magic. You can already post your questions here. Okay, whatever you need to know, whatever you want to know. Just post the question. All right. Six, Nader, San Jose. Cool. So let me know, guys. Let me know. We're just waiting for more people to join. It's always going to take like 5-10 minutes so everybody gets the notification. But then, yeah, we're going to start. What's up, Nader? How's it going? Yeah, 4 people. Okay. Yeah, we should have. Okay. Mhm. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, whoever's coming on. Please type any type of question that you have about magic, about witchcraft. I'm gonna start soon. I'm just waiting for a bunch of people to join. Okay, so we want at least 20 people on, minimum of 20 people. So let's see. Main things to keep in mind is major announcements are 2. Number 1, my order is up for is open for new members. So if you want to join a magical order that teaches you magic from the ground up, or even if you're more advanced and some other perks, then message me on Facebook. Request access to the Grail of the Serpent in a Circle Facebook group, and through that, you'll always find my posts, and so you can find my profile. And then we can talk about you joining the order. Another point, another option that you have is joining me and others on the 90-day ritual challenge. It's going to happen. It's going to start on May 1st. Okay, so May 1st, we're going to start doing daily rituals together, which means you do your rituals on your own, but you send feedback. The feedback's going to be critiqued, and we're going to have weekly live calls where I'm going to teach you how to do the rituals better. That's also going to happen. I'm going to start May 1st, which is in a couple days. In a couple days. Yeah. Selma says, hey, Frank, I'm from New Jersey, 42 years old. I'm a newbie. Welcome. How did you find me, Selma? How did you find me? How did you find me? You know, I would love to do these calls on Zoom. They were much better. But I mean, because in Zoom you could interact and talk with each other. Send a request on Facebook to no avail. Uh, a request on Facebook to the personal profile. That happens, man. I get I don't know how many. I get a lot of Facebook requests. So I rarely pay attention to them. It's much better if you send a message, a direct message out to the group. Oh, I see. Really? I usually let most people into the group. Okay, I'm gonna check later. So if you sent a request, you're gonna be you're gonna be allowed into the group. Okay. Okay, 8 people. The numbers are growing. The numbers are going up. Cool. The Grail of the Serpent. The Grail of the Serpent has an order. I don't know if you knew that. The Grail of the Serpent, this is the seal of the Grail of the Serpent. And the Grail of the Serpent has an initiation group, an initiatic group that teaches you magic from the ground up. And that is opening up again for new members. Okay. It can't be open all the time because it's not good for cohesion if constantly new people come in, right? So there will be phases. So there are phases where it's open for new people and then it closes again. And then people have to wait half a year. You know, I've had 2, 3 years where I didn't let new people in, right? So they're always like these short windows where you're allowed to get in and they close. And then it's closed for a very long time. Yeah. So if you are interested in learning magic from the ground up and get initiated into deeper and deeper levels where the power increases as well, request access to my order. How do you do that? You contact me on Facebook and then we talk. Yeah. And then we talk. All right. So, guys, what questions do you have about magic? What questions do you have about magic? Let me help you. Let me figure out your problems. So let me figure out the solution to the problems that you have in magic. Now, Selma said he's a newbie, right? Man, newbies need the number one thing that newbies need is a clear path from A to B. Okay, that's it. That's what newbies need. The information only makes sense once you got the skeleton, if that makes sense. Okay, you need a clear path, and then the information, the individual rituals, the demons, the stuff, the spirits, all of that stuff is the flesh on the bones. All right, but without the bones, I mean, yeah, without the bones, none of that's going to stick, and none of that's going to make sense. You see, good metaphor, huh? Good metaphor. So what you need, bro, Mr. Selma or Mrs. Selma or Miss Selma or whatever. Selma is probably, what's that? More female, right? So Miss Selma, and I hope I'm not offending you because you identify as demisexual, ever, right? So Miss Selma, what you need is a clear path from A to B, my friend. And that's how you're going to learn fastest. That's how you're going to progress fastest. That's how you're going to make shit happen the fastest. All right. And when I say make shit happen, I'm talking about, of course, magical rituals and having results with that stuff, because that's really what we want. Okay. Now, let's be honest. Nobody gets into magic with good intentions. That doesn't happen. Nobody gets into magic and is like, oh, I want to learn how to ascend and I want to learn how to transcend the physical world. Nobody in the history of witchcraft has ever done that. Female, Selma. Okay. No one in the history of magic has ever done that. No one got into magic because they wanted to transcend the physical world or wanted to ascend in this and that and the other. All of that stuff comes later. People become interested in the esoteric part of this art after they learn how to use magic to make ends meet and get rid of their mundane problems. And that's exactly how you have to do that. You have to learn magic. You begin the approach that I take in teaching people magic is essentially I teach them the basics that they can use to take control over the mundane things in their life. Let's say your life is in shambles. You get into this stuff, and I teach you how to do rituals that help you make money. You let's say your life is in complete shambles. So you get your health in order. Okay, you get your health in order, and you use magic to do that. Then you get your money in order. You get a great position, a job, or whatever that pays you more than enough than you need. And number three is you get a whatever, get a partner, like a romantic partner, right? Boom. You went from life in shambles to a better life than 80-90% of the people out there, right? And now you can focus on the high level stuff like the ascension and low, the meaning of life and the meaning of spirituality. Let's explore the other worlds. When in the Middle Ages, when somebody wanted to study the Kabbalah, they could, first of all, they could only do that after 40, which at that time pretty much meant the person was already almost dead. Okay, because the life expectancy was around 30 something. No shit, I'm not kidding. The life expectancy was around 30 in the Middle Ages, sometimes younger, okay, depending on where you were, depending on what period of history. During the Great Famine, life expectancy was around 18. Yeah. So rough times, right? So reaching the age of 40 was quite a feat, right? And on top of that, the person had to prove that they could lead a productive life that works for them and everybody around them. And then they were able to study the occult secrets, you see. And I have a very similar mindset. I believe most people shouldn't even study magic or witchcraft or whatever, at least not in depth, because they don't have the mental clarity to do that. They're way too much involved with the mundane stuff, right? Now, the good thing is we can use magic to fix that mundane stuff. We can use magic to make our lives better, so that we have the peace of mind and the vision and the clarity to focus on this abstract, high value spiritual stuff. Life requires you to essentially rise up a pyramid. Okay, so like there's a pyramid, a hierarchy of needs. Okay, there's a hierarchy of needs, and you can't jump from one to the next. You got to actually rise step by step by step, right? Now, when you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the bottom you got like the base needs like food, shelter, and things like that, right? And then on top of that you got like safety, um, safety safety also into the future, peace of mind when it comes to that. And you want respect from the world. You want whatever, like all kinds of different things, right? And at the very top, the very end of this progression is self-realization, which is what most people would associate with magic, or rather spirituality, you see. Now, before you can get there, though, you have to, and you cannot jump steps. You cannot jump from here to up there. It does not work. It does not work because your consciousness is not there. It's going to be involved with other things. So what you have to do, you have to rise step by step by step by step to the top. And you do that by working on yourself and working on your world. And magic is a great tool that you can use to jump, or to rise up that ladder. Okay? And that's exactly what we do at the Grail of the Serpent, okay? I'm here to help you with that. Um, Hello, brother. Good to see you again. How's it going, man? The Golden Age, Return of the Golden Age says, prayer hands. How's it going? Return of the Golden Age. Akira says, hey, you, Frank. What up? How's it going? How's it going? Frank the Tank, the OG King of all kings. Hi, Frank. You got that title almost right. It's not the correct one. It's Frank OG, no, the Bronze Dawn, OG of sorcery, uh, something like that. But I'm not king of all kings. That's way too low of a title for me. The Bronze Dawn messes up all kings of kings, king of all kings. Call me emperor, emperor. That's a word. King, pfft, kings, kings. That's funny. You know what kings are these days? Nowadays, kings are these sloppy dumbasses that are standing next to their fat ass girlfriend on Instagram. Oh, I love my king. Those are kings. I'm not one of those guys. Okay. Is Satan the demiurge? No. It's more like the demiurge is well, if you want to put a deific mask on it, it would be something like Saturn Kronos. Okay, Saturn Kronos. That would be that would be the demiurge. Saturn and Kronos. Yeah. Satan is look, bro. Satan is when you look at the Bible, there are two moments when Satan appears, right? And they're both kind of like he's working for God, or he's one of his kind of like prosecutors, if you will. Okay, so he's not an autonomous being, right? That's a role that's been imposed on him later. Yeah, it is so funny. My nana called me today because someone gave her crystals for her chakras. She wants to know what they mean. I'm like, how do you even know I do magic? Mm. Yeah, how does she know? Good question. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Do you lend credence to allegedly channeled works such as the Law of One, Seth Speaks, etc.? I prefer to do my own research, to be honest. Um, I prefer to do my own research. I mean, of course, I read other sources. Yes, I study other authors, but not necessarily for information from spirits, because there's the best way to get information from spirits is myself. You see what I mean? So that's what I do. When it comes to occult research, it's mostly I study religious scriptures and um, how do you describe that? It's essentially historical research that I go through. Like I'm really about um, historical accuracy. Okay, um, and when you do that, you will find that there is, on top of mainstream history, there's an occult thread, that is kind of like influencing history, all of history, through, let's say, secret societies, through different royal courts and different events, wars and stuff like that, and it's one thread that is all linked together through the occult. How so? You will, in world history, you will always have these key figures that you might hear about, right? Like the names that we remember from the past. It's kind of funny. Let me digress a little bit, but when people talk about the history of a country that they're so proud about, right? Let's say let's say you're English, right, and you're proud of the history of your country. Well, let's be honest, man. There were maybe 0.0000001% of the people of that country that were actually responsible for the course of history by making large decisions or far-reaching decisions and anything of any um, consequence, right? The rest are fucking peasants and peons. That's the world. Okay. Most people are like they look for an identity because like, oh yeah, I'm part of this. No, you're not. You've been a peasant exploited by the rulers of your country for the last 1,000 years, and before that, your great grandfather and great 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 grandfather. It's always been like that, right? So that's just a side note. I mean, the reality of the world is clear, right? But there's always mainstream history that you see, and then there's an occult threat where the figures in world history that are remembered and that are of any consequence always, always, in some way or another are connected to the occult. And when you research that, you will find that there is an influence from another dimension that is influencing these key figures to do certain things, and they set the course of history in that way. Okay. This is also, by the way, the more you reach a position of power, the higher you get in the hierarchy of society, the more likely it is that you get possessed or influenced by spirits. Why? Because why would they influence the all of humanity? It doesn't even make sense. Why would you do that? It makes way more sense to influence very few people that are in key positions and make them do what it is that you want. Um, hence the prevalence of the occult among, let's say, world stars, um, celebrities, uh, politicians, um, people in high finance, all of that stuff, key positions. The closer you get to the epicenter of power in any field, the more it's going to be about the occult, more than mundane stuff. Why? Because the occult is the science of sciences. It's the philosophy of the masters. It's the worldview of the masters. Those that actually understand the world think in occult terms, esoteric terms. You see, and the masses are mundane. That's what they're called, the mundane, right? The mundane. Um, all right. Can you feed a servitor with Reiki? 100%. Yes, 100%. Can Mars energy be used to increase sexual performance? Yeah, why not? Yes. What would you do if you just lost an important business partner? Well, in war, people are lost, so you find a new one, right? Unless you want to let the organization die. But I don't, I don't see a point. Why would you do that? You know, I mean, if your neighbor goes bankrupt, do you, out of solidarity, also go bankrupt? Is that how you run your life? Probably not, right? So, so you do what is necessary to survive. It's what we all do. It's we live in a world that has really changed, man, from the past. I'm pretty sure about that. But you are only here because your ancestors did anything they had to do to survive. Do you understand that? And do you understand what that means? Do you understand what that means? Like literally doing anything they have to do to survive. That's why you are here. And you're indebted to all of those people. You're indebted to all of those people because they fought, they died, they worked, they fucking suffered so that they could survive. And you are the product of that. So um, you do whatever it takes to survive. It's really simple. Life is really not that complicated. See? Can you share something, an entity in the inner plane said to you, which stuck with you? There are a million things that I could tell you. There are a million things that I would say. Literally, it's too much. But okay, let me try to answer that differently. In a way where, is there a common thread that I received? Is there a common thread? No, not really. There are so many different messages. Really, I can't. If you maybe ask me for in one, one area, one topic, maybe I can give you an answer here. But this is way too much. Can you answer? Rasputin? Yes, Rasputin is a good example. Rasputin, Russian aristocracy. Speaking of, you have seen. Speaking of, have you seen the Johnny Depp case and how his ex-wife lied on him, abused him, and got him back? Yeah, but see, this is yeah, I've heard about that, but just because it's impossible to not hear about that, and this is exactly what's wrong with society, because most people, I don't even know if that's what's wrong with society, but the point that most people care about that, but look, how many people know about that shit? But how many of those people actually can balance their checkbook? This is exactly what's wrong with the world. You get what I'm saying? How many people know everything that happened in Johnny Depp's life for the last 3 fucking years, however long he's been fucking this bitch, right? And how many of those people actually know about nutrition and what to eat to keep their body healthy? You see, the ratio is off. The ratio is off. People have too much useless fucking information in their head. That's of zero value to their own lives. But I guess that's why some people win and some people lose, you know? So if you want to keep, if you want to lose, you watch shit like that, just the media getting your attention, and as they get your attention, using this fucking case, they get your attention, and then they can sell you stuff by implanting advertisement in your subconscious mind. So congratulations, you've just been used. You're like a fish, and you're just, yeah, you're on the hook. That's what's up. But that's good. That's good. You know why? Because that makes the game easier for me. It makes the game way easier for me. I'm into stocks. I invest in the stock market. Okay, and it's not what you might think. It's like this trading stuff, blah blah blah. No, 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 no. I'm an investor, an actual investor. And the more people are in are on the hook with all kinds of different fucking schemes, the easier it is to make money for people like me. It's beautiful. What they say, like, people are sheep and sheep get slaughtered. That's what's up. Um, all right. Is there anyone in high position being influenced by good spirits? Yeah, I'm sure. Of course. Of course. But I mean, what does good and bad mean? For who? Listen, if you eat chicken today, you think the chicken likes that? Are you evil? Are you one of bad guys now? Are you the bad guy? Because you had chicken today? Very well might be. So, what tells you that the chicken don't have a belief that, maybe they don't get it? They don't get it. They have the chicken are pulled together, and they're in the slaughterhouse, and then, or let's say a pig. Okay, the pigs are in the slaughterhouse, right? And you know they're being given food. They eat the food, and one of the pigs is like, listen, oink oink oink. I think this is all like a system to just make us fat so they can slaughter us later and eat us, right? And they have all of these theories, and maybe they have even their little pig religion. Their pig religion, where it's basically, well, there are these evil creatures that are outside of these gates, And everybody's like, "Are you crazy? These are these are the limits of the world, right?" Because most of those pigs have been born inside of that cage, right? In this fucking box. But some of the pigs tell them, "No, no, no, no. Listen, there are these people. They walk on two legs and shit, right? They walk on two legs and they live outside of this box and they're just waiting, you know. They're just fattening us up so they can eat us. They can feed off of us and stuff, right?" And they call those evil creatures, they call them two-legged evil spirits or whatever, creatures, aliens, right? Once in a while, and then these two-legged creatures come in, and then they eat the pigs, right? So you tell me, who's the bad guy in the story? Because obviously the people that come in are humans. Have you ever ate pork? Have you ever ate chicken? Have you ever ate beef? So you tell me, like good and evil is a very relative term, you know, good spirits, bad spirits. So it's at the end of the day, it's about power. That's really what it is, you know. It really is. All right. Um, would people LARPing or essentially role playing the occult and invoking names of actual beings whilst doing so attract negative attention or inspire anger and ill will from said beings? No. You you are doing what's called a that would what you just said would be called a anthropocentric projection, where you put human psychological traits on top of a non-human force. A spirit does not have the same psychological traits as us, you know. So you cannot offend a spirit necessarily. You can do things that are not to its liking. Yes, you can also piss a spirit off, but it's usually an energy thing. It's a de- defecation, or not deconsecration, or something like that. There are certain rules to any spiritual energy. When you break those rules, yes, you cause trouble, but not you're not making them mad or something like that. Okay, very true. I'm down 8% in 5 months. I kept 92% of my money. I beat the 90-90-90 rule. Yeah, how many trades did you make though? How many trades did you do? I mean, if if I only put in 5% of my money and don't lose 95%, you know, it's not an incredible performance. This is what you talking about here is a relative performance. And a relative performance means, okay, the market loses more than me, but I lost 8%. So I'm great. Well, okay, fine. You lose 8%, inflation takes another 18%, so you're net 16% in the red, right? So what's that all about? Why play that game then if you lose 16%? What you need to look at is in my opinion, you do whatever you want, right? It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. What you need to do is an absolute return. You need a total return. It's also called absolute return, where you're always net positive, regardless of what the market does. Okay. When invoking an energy is something unlocked within you. When invoking an energy is something unlocked within you permanently. No, it's not permanent. Hey Frank, great lecture. And is it all right to include different mantras in our daily rituals? Yeah, why not? Is it okay? Listen, if you want to learn my rituals, if you want to learn what I teach, you need to be in my order. Okay. And the order works like this. I have the order of the Grail of the Serpent, and it's usually closed for anyone who wants to get in. It's closed. Once in a while, there are these short windows where it's open for new members, which this it's open right now, and then it's going to close again for 6 months, a year, or longer. There have been times when it was closed for 2 to 3 years, and nobody could could join the order. Okay, so I recommend that if you want to get into the order, you do that now. You do that now because I'm going to close that window soon. So get into the order. How do you do that? You find me on Facebook, request access to the Grail of the Serpent in a Circle, and then message me in that group once I let you in there. And then we talk about your involvement in the order and getting in there. Yeah. You're going to learn my magical system. You're going to learn magic from the ground up, and it's high level stuff. High level stuff. I can teach you any level. Everybody that comes in there is really, really excited about the breadth of understanding that they gain from it. You know, the power that comes with it, the understanding. You know, the understanding comes first, and then the power flows from that. Okay, so I really recommend, if you want to reach any kind of sophistication with magic, you better get into that order. Okay, Wasi just posted the link in the chat, and I highly recommend that everybody gets in there. It's not a given. Obviously, there's like an application process, but I highly recommend that you apply. Yeah. How do you feel about Elon Musk buying Twitter? Do you think he wants to control the media? No, I think he wants to control the public narrative. That's what he wants to. I mean, he's pumping Bitcoin since I don't know how long, a couple weeks now. When you buy something like Twitter, it's just at the end of the day, money is economic energy, okay? And that economic energy follows attention. That's what it is, okay? So if you can generate attention, you automatically will be able to transfer that into money. So if you have economic energy, which is what money is, okay? And that economic energy just takes on different vessels, Bitcoin, dollars, gold, whatever, right? It moves from asset to asset. If you have Twitter, you basically have the strongest magnet for attention in this world right now, which also means that you can attract an almost infinite amount of economic energy into whatever asset you want. You know, so it's a very smart move. It's a very smart move, which means that, look, Elon Musk is going to be the first trillionaire in this on this planet. Yep. I mean, what has what can Jeff Bezos do? He's got the Washington Post. Who really reads the Washington Post? Please, come on. Like, you can't compare that with Twitter. And look, I think that's the end game. You know, I think with Twitter, that's the end game. You control the economic energy on this planet when you own Twitter. And he doesn't own 5% or so. He owns it. He owns all of it. It's fucking amazing if you think of it. He's more powerful than any government now. Do you get that? Putin is on Twitter. Okay, Putin has to use Twitter. The next president or the current president, they have to use Twitter. They're on his platform. He's powerful. He's more powerful than any government. People will know what Elon Musk says earlier, and they will pay more attention to what Elon Musk says than what Joe Biden says or anyone. You get what I'm saying? So it's fucking amazing. It's crazy. So does he want to control the media? Obviously. Like, if somebody told you, do you want to control the media? Are you going to say no? I want to control the media too. It's all about, like, look. You should be really cautious and worried about people that tell you that they don't want power. Okay, people that tell you they don't want power, they don't like it. They're the worst of the worst. Okay, they're the worst of the worst. They're liars. They're dishonest. So. Yes, he wants to control the media. Ideally, he would like to control the entire economy. But now he controls, yeah, an incredibly valuable asset for generating attention. And it's a smart move. Have you ever suspected a spirit was an imposter from the one you summoned? Never. Doesn't happen. If the system is rigged, then what is the real revolution? The system is rigged. Well, then what is the real sort of revolution? If the system is rigged. I don't understand that question, to be honest, man. I really don't. If the system is rigged, then what is the real revolution? You seem to okay, let me try to explain it like that. You seem to assume that there is a world where there is like a this the you seem to assume that there is a communist or a socialist paradise, and that is actually a possibility, and it's also um, in alignment with our nature. But I don't believe that is the case. Um, the system being rigged. The world is not fair, and the easier and the earlier you get over that, the better. It's not fair. No, the world's not fair, and you got to accept that. And it's a hard pill to swallow, but you have to do that. And then you work with what you got and work your way up because that's the only choice you have. You see what I mean? That's really the only choice you got. Or you give up. That's another choice, right? But this revolution that you're talking about or assuming is possible is never going to happen ever. Why? Because there are bigger laws at work, bigger laws that are not created by humans. There are power distributions. The Gini coefficient, okay? Google that. Gini coefficient. Google Pareto principle, you know? There is no equality in this world. Equality is a lie. It's a concept that has been invented, but it's not real. Equality does not exist. So what do you? I don't know what you expect here. So the revolution is something that happens personally, individually. And the funny thing is that the people that talk about revolutionizing the world are usually the people that have their life they have their own life not under control. They talk about just changing the world, but have a problem managing their own life. How does that make sense? You see what I mean? There are two types of people in this world. One type of person deals with the things that are in their immediate control, their circle of control or circle of competence. And then there's the person or the people that always turn their attention on the greater things, the things that are outside of their circle of control or circle of competence. And usually their own lives are completely a mess. And they do that out of cowardice because dealing with your own affairs and getting your own life under control requires you to be to deal with discomfort and with your own shortcomings and all this stuff, right? But unless you do that, you will never be able to actually increase your comfort zone. You see, but the ironic thing is when you start taking control over your own life and your own little affairs, you step by step increase your circle of competence and your circle of control. Most people do it the other way around, especially in magic, especially in the occult, especially when it comes to spirituality. Fucking hippies, bro. Fucking hippies everywhere. No fucking clue about anything about the first thing. They think that, oh, the fucking reptilians have created this evil world, and now we just have to spread love and everything's gonna be fine. No, the it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that. We live in the real world, which means take responsibility for your own life. Okay, take responsibility for your own life. Stop trying to change the world. That's later. Once you reach the level where you can actually care about that, and your work has actually influence. And we live in a world also nowadays where through social media there's this illusion that everybody's voice matters, right? Everybody's opinion matters, right? Everybody can fucking talk on social media, can do this, can do that, can cuss out a celebrity or whatever the fuck they do, have their opinion about Donald Trump and shit like that, right? But to what extent are those actually things that move the needle? Not at all. You're just benefiting the platforms that you're using and pretend to hate. I just recently posted something on Facebook, which is which really fits that. Which is basically, if you use social media to criticize billionaires that created the very platforms you're using to criticize them, which made them billionaires, you are a special kind of stupid. And I totally believe that. Okay, so revolution, the revolution must start with you. Okay, most people, besides that, nobody's like, who has the balls to make a revolution these days? Who? Do you know any real men anymore? When's the last time? Today, you spent all day dealing with people. Did you see one real man? To me, they all look like little boys and bitches. That's what's up. They look like that. There are not even any men anymore. Okay, and women, sure as fuck, are not going to cause a revolution. When in history have women ever done a revolution or fought a war? That doesn't happen. Okay, so this revolution is not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. Are there any rituals that would allow a practitioner to astral travel every night, all night? That has to do with your control over your astral body and your nervous system. It's not one technique. It's how, look, to what extent can you focus on something and keep your attention on that thing and nothing else? That's the first question you should answer, because that determines how well you can manifest. That determines how well you can take your attention to a different place and explore it. That's really what it's about. It's not about one technique. Um, is spiritual warfare something to worry about, or is it also part of the illusion? If you're really being attacked, it is definitely something to be worried about. Yeah. You can literally do anything through spiritual means that you can do physically as well. Yeah. Women have brought down kingdoms without lifting a finger. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah. But the actual lifting was done by men again. Um, Hold on. Do spirits lack any emotional intelligence? Do they sometimes misinterpret the humor of humans? Once again, an anthropocentric projection. Anthropocentric projection. Look, a demon by definition is alien. Okay, by definition is alien. To what extent are you able to fully understand your neighbor, your next door neighbor, or members in your family? If I may ask, the last time you spent time with members of your family, to what extent were you able to have a perfect conversation and communication with them without pissing each other off? These are members of your family that you know your entire life. So you're assuming that a spirit is supposed to know and even care about your humor, which is quite self-centered, to be honest. It's very self-centered. That's what we call anthropocentric projections. You assume that everything in the universe has to work according to human laws or human psychology, which is nothing but an ape. Okay, we're monkeys, and no, I don't think they would even care about that. Okay. um I don't care about Twitter, Musk, or Bezos. It's good for you. Okay. Women have brought down kingdoms without. Okay, got that. What is the best energy work for you? Would you suggest? Meditation. God created all men equal, but once you leave the womb, he starts playing favorites. Yeah. Are you familiar with the gray son of Wolfa? No, never heard of that. I don't care about Twitter Musk. I get that. What's the best energy work? Okay, specific exercise. All this crypto hype, is it BS or worth the investment? I don't know. Should we talk about that? It's it's a highly selective thing that you gotta do. I mean, you investing and trading are two separate things. Okay, investing means that you can actually assess the value of the underlying business model. All right, that is extremely hard in the crypto space or DeFi space. You know, uh, so there are only four assets where you can do that, in my opinion. There's Bitcoin. You can understand the business model. Then you got the Lightning Network. You can understand the business model. Solana, maybe another layer two solution. You know, let's call it Solana and Ethereum. Okay, those are the only ones that me personally will consider assets in the crypto space. The rest is highly speculative, and you can definitely trade that stuff, but it's not an investment. Highly volatile. All right. Can you recommend a style of yoga especially beneficial to magic? No, hatha yoga maybe. Yeah. Do we truly have free will? Are people we perceive as bad really bad, or simply caught in the tangle of determined factors that govern their behavior? Well, once again, are you the sheep and the wolf? You know, sheep and the wolf. You get what I'm saying? So that's not an easy answer to give you. You know, sheep and the wolf. OG Bronze Dawn, what's up, man? Can you tell us which compendiums you contributed to become a living god? Azazel and Lucifer, and a third one. I don't remember right now. Azazel and Lucifer. Do you feel there is a group of entities assisting a group of humans attain full control over the population in exchange for something? If so, do you care to speculate what the some things might be? Yes, I do believe that. But it's not one group. It's not one group. There are multiple groups. There are multiple groups like that. Look, the occult is way more widespread than just one elite group. You know, you got usually any family that you heard about, any like well-known families, they have ties to the occult in some way or another. And those entities that are connected to that are extraterrestrials. That's the best way to describe them. ETs, extraterrestrials. Those are the entities that are influencing history and so on and so forth. ETs, yeah. Can one become a great magician with only meditation and visualization alone, without ritual objects for use in magic? Yeah, that would be possible. That would be possible. But there's almost nobody who's done that before. But it is possible. Pretty sure about that. In fact, when you find people that start magic, or the people that have the most meditation experience up front are the ones that progress the fastest, because it's all about the mind. It's all about the mind. You see? So if you find somebody who's a Zen practitioner for 10 years or so, they will just they will be amazing right away. They will be really good at magic right away. Same with remote viewing. Meditation is the absolute foundation for everything, man. Meditation. All right, guys. I don't have too much time, but I want to leave you. I want to leave you with this. And this, please keep the Keep the links ready, Wasi, for the 90-day ritual challenge and the for the Grail of the Serpent in a Circle. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Here's what you have to keep in mind. Okay, right now, I've opened my order up again. My order is an initiatic system and much, much more. It's the Order of the Grail of the Serpent, and usually it's closed. It's been closed for years, and it works like this. There are small windows of time where it's open, where access is open, and then it closes again for 6 months, a year, and so on and so forth, right? So right now you have an open window for a very short amount of time. You can get in there. How? You click the link in the chat for the Grail of the Serpent in a Circle, and request access to the group, and I will then, um, talk to you about joining the order. But you have to contact me. Please find me inside of that group and send me a direct message. Yeah, and we can talk about you joining the order. Number 2, we're going to do a ritual challenge, a 90-day ritual challenge beginning on the 1st of May. Okay, we're going to do rituals on a daily basis. You're going to send the feedback. And when you don't send the feedback, we will get back to you, reminding you to do the rituals. You will get feedback, and you will learn how to do rituals better and better and better. The number one thing that you need in order to get good at rituals is consistent practice. And we're going to make sure that you have the accountability that gets you to do those 90 days. Without that, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get to a good level of casting spells. You need that accountability that we're willing to provide, and spend all of this time and checking, is everybody sending their rituals in, and so on and so forth, right? So it's a lot of work that we're willing to do to get you to that level. Number 2, there will be weekly live calls where you can ask all your questions. Your rituals are going to be discussed, and you're gonna learn how to do rituals better. So if you actually are serious about magic, if you actually seriously want to get good at casting spells and get results, you gotta be on the 90-day ritual challenge. Okay, so find the link in the chat for the 90-day ritual challenge. Has just been posted. Click that link and sign up for it. But you can't just sign up. You have to sell yourself. Okay, you have to sell yourself to me, basically explaining why you are a good fit for that 90-day ritual challenge, right? Because not everybody can be part of that, obviously. So once again, click those links. 90-day ritual challenge is in the chat right now. Grail of the Serpent in a Circle. Contact me for the order, and really do it now. Now's the best time. Now is the best time, and the only time where it's possible. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Be well. Bye.